garden tour, October 13th, 2025. So, as you can see, it's fall. This is the plot that I planted with oats and peas, I don't know, a month ago now. Maybe a little bit less than that, maybe 3 weeks. Got decent germination in the lower part down here. Up here, not so much, but it might come along. I'm just going to take whatever I can get because I'm going to create garlic beds here anyway, so it's only going to grow until next month, and then I'm going to chop it down, use it as mulch, and finish these beds with a little bit of compost I have down there. And then this will be garlic. Oh, you know, most everything's dead. We've got a couple frosts. This lettuce is doing okay, actually. This is, oh, I see it got singed a little bit, but this Great Lakes lettuce. There's some scallions in there. I just harvested 15 ears of corn. It feels like they might be mature, but we'll see when I go inside or go open them up. We'll see if there's good corn in there. There's still some immature stuff out here. I'm not sure that I'm even going to bother harvesting it. I might just throw it in the compost pile. But that's what today's going to be, although it just started raining a little bit. But here's my amaranth. Though it's seeds. So that'll plant some more amaranth there. All my old okra is dead. Bush tomatoes are gone. Oh, these radishes are still hanging on. Oh, this is a couple plantings ago. I've actually got a planting over there that are probably still in decent shape. Yeah, so it's pretty much come to an end. As you can see, all the tomatoes are toast. Scarlet runner beans are toast. You know, I came in here earlier and already harvested a bunch of corn. I probably will grab a lot of these immature ears just to take them and check them. I'm probably not ready. Yeah, you can see the parsley still alive. Yeah, this year I focused my attention on some other things towards the end of the season, so I didn't do anywhere near the weeding that I would like to have been doing. This was a bed that I planted, my third planting of green beans, which you can see didn't get a chance to mature before the frost hit, unfortunately. I also had stuck some random kale in between the green beans. That's still hanging on, but as you can see, that also got singed by the frost there. You know, if it warmed up here for a week or two, we might get a little more kale out of that. And what has also happened here is I believe this is ryegrass, because I had rye cover crop planted there earlier this year, and I think I waited a little too long to kill it, and I believe that some of the seed matured. So when I knocked the rye down right here, you know, seed fell, and I think I've got some rye here, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'll probably mow it short and maybe just scuffle hoe it when I'm ready to be done with this bed sometime within the next few weeks. And hopefully that takes care of the rye. What else have we got going on around here? Not too much. It's about the end of the year. Oh, here's I think this is my third planting of carrots and beets. They're coming along. They're not quite ready. I've got some bird netting over them. I also stuck in some random artichokes that I had. Oh, there's also some scallions which are ready in there. Yeah, the beet greens got toasted, unfortunately. But maybe if I'm lucky, the beets still develop before the ground freezes solid. Before I leave today, I'm going to pull that net back and just do some investigation, see what's grown and what's not. There was a volunteer husk cherry here, which dropped a bunch of fruit. Most of it's immature, I believe. The frost has just made all the papers yellow. Most of the fruit is still sour, unfortunately. That one wasn't too bad. Yeah, here's my radishes. Oh, the greens on these got a little toasted too. Here's some celery, still alive. You can see the tips are nipped off on a lot of them. The deer must be coming through and snacking what they can get. More power to them. Here is, oh, this is the remnants of cabbage, kale, chard. We'll have to see. I might leave those for now, even though most of it looks pretty fried. I don't know if it's worth hanging on to them. But I'm also not sure if it's at the top of my priority list for things to chop out quite yet. So I might not get to this week. But pretty soon, maybe next week, I will chop all this down. Because as you can see, it got pretty weedy. And the crabgrass and other various weeds got a little out of control. So once I chop all the crops that I think I can still eat out of this patch, this weedy patch here, I will put a tarp back over it to try to knock the weeds back before next summer. But my garden will start, like this year it started, garlic, and I planted just this way as the season went. Next year the garlic will be at that end of the garden and I'll plant this way. So the tarp will stay down here for quite a while. So, and this patch here, which was last year's garlic that I harvested this summer, this will be rye. So this will grow into a tall rye cover crop that I'll knock down in June. And this will stay tarped. I don't know, this will be some of the last beds that I plant here in the summer. The rye's coming up okay. Here's some sunflowers, which looks like there's still some buds in there. I don't know. They're not happy. But you can see, looks like the zinnias are toast, unfortunately. It was nice knowing you, zinnias. It was a fun season. Yeah, so that pretty much puts an end to my gardening season. There's still some cleanup, still some prep work. Get ready for this year. Get ready for next year. And maybe I'll get some beets and carrots out of that bed that's still hanging on if the weather allows. But I guess other than that, that's about the gist of it for this mid-fall October day.